Hello and welcome to CivilNet's Daily News Digest for Thursday, September 12th. I'm Paul Chaderjian.
Hi, and I'm Maria Titizian. Here a look at some of the stories that grabbed our attention in the past 24 hours.
We begin this morning with the Karabakh conflict. It'll soon be 20 years since the start of the post-Artsakh Liberation War ceasefire. There is no war now, but there's also no peace. Often there are ongoing violations at the point of contact with sniper fire. As recent as 2 weeks ago, an Armenian soldier was killed and another wounded on the Nakhichevan border. Now there's a new player in the conflict resolution process. The new U.S. co-chair of the OSCE Minsk Group, James Warlick, is in Yerevan, and he met with journalists this morning. Over the past 2 days, Mr. Warlick has been in talks with Armenian Foreign Minister Eduard Nalbandian and Defense Minister Seyran Ohanyan. Mr. Warlick will travel to Karabakh to meet with the Republic's leadership after his visit to Yerevan.
A top Azerbaijani diplomat is scheduled to arrive in Yerevan today. Deputy Foreign Minister Mahmoud Guliev will take part in a meeting of top diplomats from the former Soviet republics participating in the EU's Eastern Partnership program. Visits between the two countries are rare. The meeting in Yerevan will discuss preparations for an upcoming summit on the EU Eastern Partnership program.
During the European Parliament plenary session in Strasbourg yesterday, Stephen Füle, the European Commissioner for Enlargement and Neighbourhood Policy, made a statement on the pressure exercised by Russia on countries of the Eastern Partnership. This comes on the heels of Armenia's decision to join the Russian-led customs union. Füle said, quote, "Let me be clear. The development of the Eurasian Economic Union project must respect our partners' sovereign decisions." He continued, "Any threats from Russia linked to the possible signing of an agreement with the EU is unacceptable." Füle added that the EU will support and stand by those who are subject to undue pressures by Russia.
CivilNet Foundation Director Salpi Ghazarian interviewed Hrant Gostanyan yesterday about Armenia's decision to join the customs union. Mr. Gostanyan is an associate fellow at the Center for European Policy Studies. He spoke to Salpi about the consequences of Armenia's decision in the context of the Republic's 4-year-long negotiation process to sign an association agreement with the European Union.
There are those who say that we don't need to get so concerned right now because, after all, the customs union process has just barely begun. There's not a document there, even when there is Parliament, Constitutional Court, that this is a lengthy process. But isn't it true on the flip side that simply this announcement by itself is already capable of taking us out of the game? I wonder if the Brussels think tanks will continue to invite us on these discussions. I wonder if European projects will continue to take place. I wonder if we will continue to be on Europe's active agenda. After all, they're going to have to deal with China, they're going to have to deal with the trade deals with the US. Where are we going to fall?
Merely the fact that there was such an announcement has been a huge damage to reputation of Armenia. It's hard now to talk in Brussels, anywhere in the city, be that think tanks or the institutions or other parts, as Armenia being a reliable partner. And this is very, very important for a country, for a small country. But this is not the biggest problem. The bigger problem is that because Armenia took itself out of this process, and I probably shouldn't say Armenia, Armenian leadership took Armenia out of this process. Of course, the interests on Armenia is going to fade away even more. It's a small country. It's not a priority for the European Union. It's not on top of the agenda. The European Union has, we can already say, wasted resources and a lot of money already during these last 4 years. And of course, the interests will fade away even more, and we will see less and less European engagement in Armenia.
You can watch Salpi's entire interview with Mr. Gostanyan by following the link on your screen.
Yesterday, the Partnership for Open Society initiative, which represents more than 60 civil society organizations, held a public discussion in Yerevan titled "Attacks on Universal Human Rights Values and Human Rights Defenders in Armenia, Strategies to Confront." The discussion covered attacks against activists in recent weeks, gender issues, including the customs union. You can watch CivilNet's coverage of the discussion by following the YouTube link you see here.
USID officially launched its pension reform implementation program at a ceremony in Yerevan yesterday. The goal of the 4-year, $3.8 million program is to assist the Armenian government to build its human and institutional capacity to ensure the successful rollout of the new pension system. The program will support the broader goal of providing old age income security in an environment that is fiscally sound and sustainable.
In Turkey, protests continue in reaction to the death of a young activist named Ahmed Atakan. The activist died from injuries he sustained when a tear gas canister hit him in the head. The protests began in Antakya, where the activist was killed, as well as in Istanbul, Izmir, and Ankara. Police used tear gas, water cannons, and rubber bullets against the protesters. The activists are expected to continue their protests throughout today.
Sosa and Allen's Legacy Foundation and the Armenia Tree Project will establish a memorial forest in honor of the diasporan couple killed in a traffic accident in May. Sosa's brother says the forest will serve as a living, breathing memorial to Sosa and Allen and will have a positive effect on Armenia's environment. Here's how the campaign will work. For every new like on ATP's Facebook page, 5 trees will be planted in the memorial forest.
On our events calendar for September the 20th, that's a Friday, is the Gyumri Arts and Crafts Festival. It's expected to attract thousands from across the Republic. The festival was created to celebrate the historic customs and forgotten traditions of Armenia's second largest city, Gyumri. The festival will feature music and dance, fireworks, theatrical performances, and arts and crafts exhibits. For more information on this festival, check out their website, armenianwinefestival.am.
Before we go, we received some more comments that we'd like to share with you. Huri V says, I love the digest. Thank you for a whirlwind tour of all the exciting happenings, politics, sports, arts, travel. You covered all so beautifully. Maro Matosian also says that the news digest is great and much needed.
She writes, personally, I'd like to put more of an accent on civil society and politics and less on dance ensembles and the like. But it's such a great tool for many repats and diasporans. She says thanks.
We also want to hear from you. You can reach us at english@civilnet.am.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and share this link with all of your social networks.